So, welcome to the show, Amjad.
Hey, Sarah, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I am really excited for my community to get to know Algo, get to know you, get to know everything that you guys are doing in the industry because it's fascinating. It's the next evolution of our industry, and I really want to tell more people about it. So let's get started on that note. Why don't you tell us about Algo? Where did you start? What do you do?
Yeah, no, thank you, by the way, for the opportunity. So we are here in Detroit, and a lot of nerds, AI scientists, software engineers, very passionate about applying different AI methods to supply chain, and more specifically, inventory optimization. So any and everything related to inventory, warehouse inventory, retail inventory, manufacturing inventory, how to do a little, end-to-end optimization. And since we in Algo have sort of two types of colleagues, people who we consider technical geeks or AI experts, software engineers with the domain knowledge of supply chain and inventory optimization. But then we have proper industry domain experts, people who have actually operated in those roles. So our team is sort of a fusion of these two groups, and together we are excited about that. Okay, if we want to take supply chain performance to a whole next level, how do we bring modern AI? So we have this technique called agent-based simulation where we will will map a supply chain and we'll say, okay, you have these products, you have at location, these products at locations, you have fixtures, you have all these different physical entities. What if they have an AI representation of this term called an agent, and they are thinking out for themselves how to keep themselves healthy against a certain health criteria and give them the visibility that they need. And then these agents let them uh, take actions in that data universe or that decision space. So that is who we are. Very proud of our Detroit and Midwest heritage. And not a big company, people wise. So our professional strength is just a little over 50 people. Yeah, so that's a little bit about us. Fortune 500 enterprise class customers, and very, solving some really meaningful problems in this area. And then one thing I would remiss if I don't mention, Sarah. So to us, natural language is very important. So conversation is a new interface. So this AI technology algo that we have, one manifestation of that is also that Algo is a bot. You can talk to the bot, you can chat with the bot, and that is a very unique differentiation that our customer users they chat with Algo all the time. Algo can answer questions. Algo can perform tasks as well. That is our primary way to the software interface. So really, really heavy on natural language understanding and natural language generation. And I can, as you can see, can keep talking about us. I'm going to stop here. And that's a little bit about Algo Intro.
Well, let me tell you, that was a great introduction, and I love your passion. I mean, who can run a company that is not passionate about what you do? And I can see clearly that you are definitely passionate. But I also like the fact that you painted the picture of, what exactly that looks like, what it is. It's a bot. You can talk to it, have a conversation, and that's clearly what you're bringing to the market. So definitely, definitely appreciate that. And you talked about Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the companies or the kinds of companies
Yeah.
that maybe you're working with now or that you want to work with?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, as I mentioned, that we are a vertical software as a service solution. So, the verticals that we operate in are media and entertainment, wholesale, distribution, retail, CPG manufacturing. So, for example, many movie studios are our customers, many CPG manufacturers. One common thing that you'll find out, Sarah, and our customers are that they are in these hard goods categories. Where there are a lot of SKUs in a category, a lot of locations where those products get distributed to, a very high frequency of a new product introduction, volatile demand, local consumption patterns, and products are not cyclical, where the demand patterns are very erratic. So when that complexity is present, uh, our solution, Algo, comes very handy to solve that. And what I'm saying is that if the complexity is on a very low end of the scale, probably you don't need the sophistication of Algo. But in this day and age, when you have all these different channels, retail channels, omni commerce channels, everybody is doing a business with Amazon, figuring all that out at all different levels in a supply chain or demand chain. Uh, that is where we come handy. So today, those are our customers. Some really big retailers are our customers as well. The world's second or third largest retailer, UK's largest retailer, doesn't take much to guess that, is a customer of ours too. Uh, uh, so no, so those are the vertical domains in which we operate. And the reason behind a vertical strategy is we take Sarah a lot of end-to-end business processes with enough width, and we go very deep in those business processes and workflows, and we add automation to them. We add analytic richness to those workflows and business processes. And you may ask a question: I'm sure Fortune 500 or Global 1,000 companies, do they not have systems and whatnot? And of course, they have their ERP systems and WMS systems, all the big names. But our sort of claim to fame is we integrate nicely with all those systems. But what those systems don't do is they don't go into the type of vertical depth that we do. So we are able to create high quality decisions, and a lot of them in a given day, and then send them to different systems to act upon those decisions. Sales orders, manufacturing orders, warehouses ordering replenishment orders going into retail, those types of things. At one level, that is machine to machine. And then at a human level, then that is where Algo, at a higher level of aggregation and abstraction, is talking to the users all day long. And a bunch of use cases like that. But it is a vertical strategy because that is where we are able to create a lot of value in terms of increased productivity turns, more sell through, shipping less, selling more. We were looking at a case study a few weeks ago where for a customer, for them to achieve the same level of sell through or point of sale, we ended up shipping 1 million less units. And there was a significant dollar amount of value that if you are manufacturing 1 million less units, saving on inventory carrying costs, freight cost, forward logistics cost, reverse logistics cost, it turns out to be a fairly big number. So this vertical strategy allows us to actually create in a very measurable fashion value for our customers. So we'll continue with this vertical strategy.
Well, and really master those industries so that
Master them. Yeah,
you can
understand them. Yeah.
you're 100% to them, customer experience, that kind of thing. And the other thing that I was going to say to you is I know you're talking about working with Fortune 500 companies or even top 1000, but as we move forward, you're probably going to have to expand that because even the medium-sized companies
Yeah.
are going to need something like Algo just to compete on a certain level.
And
So
we
I'm
are
sure
already so
change
true. And we are
involved.
already venturing into that. So that is some of that has already started happening.
Right. And so you mentioned a case study, but what I want to ask you, can you give us a more visual? Can you pinpoint maybe one customer that you've worked with, and how exactly have they used Algo, how they've used your bot, and what did it do for their business?
Yeah, yeah. So again, the setting is North America, hard good categories going into major retailers. So first of all, this specific customer, they have a lot of new products that get introduced with a very high frequency. So you have to before any retail launch, you have to estimate the national level demand of how well this product is going to do based upon how well maybe similar products have done in the past and that kind of a thing. So we come up with what is called, Sarah, this bottom up national level demand for a given product. And suddenly, everything in life is a scenario. So you create different simulations with different confidence factors attached to that. Once you settle on that, okay, I'm going with this version, I'm going to manufacture this much inventory and whatnot. Well, if that inventory is going into 40,000 different store locations in all major retailers here in US and Canada, initial ship allocation accuracy matters a lot. Because if you, between a good or accurate allocation and a not so accurate allocation, there is tremendous amount of money to be either made or lost. And I'll give you an example of what a poor allocation accuracy will look like. So our sort of one reason of existence is to make sure that allocation accuracy is much higher. But an allocation gone wrong would result into the following: you have a new product, you introduce it into your retail channels. There are locations that, and let's say that you sent your initial shipment covered for 30 days of supply or something like that. So an allocation gone wrong will result into a lot of locations running out of stock the first few days of introduction, and then for you to heavily replenish it and run into this costly game of replenishment, other locations having too much inventory, not selling, and eventually you have just shipped returns to them. So that would be an example of an allocation gone wrong. So we, for this customer that I'm talking about, make sure that allocation accuracy is very, very high, fewer out of stocks, less need to replenish, less returns coming back. So that would be an example of a high allocation accuracy. Now, a lot of our customers who are suppliers and CPG manufacturers into retail, we are managing their planograms, their fixtures, their assortments in the store as to what should be on the stores to begin with. Certainly, all stores are not equal. They are in different communities with different consumer shopping and buying patterns. So you have to come up with whatever the optimal assortment is for different store clusters or store groups. That is a very important decision. Now, once that is there, a big part of what we do day to day is to make sure that the the products are on the shelves where they need to be. So we would get point of sale data on behalf of our CPG manufacturers and supplier customers from these uh, demand origination points, retail stores, and what have you. We in our system, Sarah, maintain store level perpetual inventory. We have views into the warehouse inventories, manufacturing facilities, and all that kind of a stuff. So we would then calculate replenishment orders, and we would send it to our customers' WMS systems for those orders to be processed and sent. So it is a in the now system, it is running the actual supply chain or demand chain for our customers. So that is what a typical customer journey looks like. So while the system is doing that and handling it in a automated fashion, our business users or human colleagues in the system, they log into Algo to see, okay, how well is my supply chain performing today? How did things work out from a rear view perspective? But a lot more importantly, what is the future looking like? What is my prediction for what is coming my ways? What are my future predicted orders? My future predicted demand, and that kind of a thing. Because based upon those predictions, then you have to take a bunch of actions to make sure that you are able to meet that future demand. That is what, as a turnkey software as a service shop, we do day in and day out. That is what our business is. We handle a very large number of transactions uh, uh, any given day, hundreds of millions of transactions, or sometimes even over a billion transactions a day. And you will say, okay, Amjad, where does that number come from? So if you say, okay, if I share with you that our unique product location combinations or SKU location combinations that we are handling in the systems is in tens of millions of unique SKU location combinations. And if we, for each one of those, we are doing our demand planning, demand forecasting, replenishment, assortment, whatever forward, reverse logistics functions that we have to perform. And it is all at that item location level. And from there, we bottom up that those numbers add up to very, very high numbers very quickly. But that is what, Sarah, a typical customer use case journey looks like.
Well, I really like that. And there was a couple of key points there. One was definitely helping them to be proactive instead of reactive, because traditionally supply chain and logistics has been fairly reactive. I mean, we're just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
And I think the other important key factor of that is that, you know, now we are considering customer experience at a store level as a part of that supply chain,
Yeah.
right? You're talking about, different stores in different communities with different customers. You've got the same product, but one product might be at the top of the shelf in one store, might be at the middle of the shelf in another store,
Yeah.
and might be at the bottom of the shelf in even like another store, purely based on buying habits that we now look at, you know, um, the community factors, depending on maybe whether they're driving, maybe whether they're walking, and what type of people are actually walking into the store and what experience do you want to give them? They want to have access to that particular product
Yeah.
where they want it on the shelf to quickly pick it up, put it in their cart, and go and pay and leave the store potentially. And so the reason why I bring up that example is that I think, sometimes obviously we've been talking about collaboration in the industry, but we really haven't put it into perspective of how important marrying customer experience to supply chain is. And that is just a really, really great example. So I want to talk about competitors. You have competitors in this space. There's some investment coming into supply chain. People are sort of popping up all over the place. You've got some large competitors that I'm pretty aware of. So how do you differentiate yourself? What's different about Algo from, the other competitors on the market?
Yeah, yeah. I think the way we have been able to combine big data and true AI with uh, our industry knowledge and create these uh, real time workflows where AI is not something that you do after the fact or get excited about after 5 p.m., but you are actually embedding it in that workflow itself. I think that gives us a comparative differentiation. Uh, uh, the fact that we understand these vertical domains really good, and not only what business processes and workflows are, but what they should be, and we are able to bake it into Algo or train Algo to perform those skills. And this the emphasis that we have on natural language understanding and natural language generation is super important. We talk to a lot of customers, we interact with a lot of them. We are talking to many new prospects. Uh, and we get this feedback that everybody loves Algo. So because you can relate to the bot, it comes across as a your virtual business analyst companion.
Okay.
So that is sort of a differentiator. We also have other sort of ways, the way we price our software without sort of giving in sort of our trade secrets, but we, don't meter the usage. So you can have all kind of use, all any number of users on it, and we don't meter that. We in fact encourage more use. Then we take it upon ourselves to do any upstream and downstream integration of our software because we are certainly integrating with our customers' ERP systems, WMS systems. We are hooked into their B2B integration, architectures. Uh, we are generating a lot of data, these orders and whatnot that we are sending to our customers' systems. So the fact that we provide this turnkey experience uh, helps. Our customer churn is zero. We do not lose our customers once they come to our platform.
That's
Another,
great. Can
yeah,
I can I just interrupt for one
yeah,
second?
yeah.
I just want to say it's probably because they don't feel alone. You said that it feels like their own personal in-house, business analyst, and I think that's great. And I just wanted to point that out because I think that that's such a unique customer feedback that you really want to just share.
Our people call us Algo people, so they develop this association with Algo, and as a result,
It's a community.
we are called. Yeah, so that's what we are called. Uh, we take a slightly different approach to ongoing customer success and account management as well. As a nerdy company, if you are a customer, Sarah, we wouldn't, offer lunches or dinners. We are sure that you have your own better lunch dinner plans, but we would analyze your data and we'll come to you with opportunities or patterns or anomalies that we find. We'll share with you what new functions and features are going into the software. We'll come on site to provide training. So we try to create a meaningful engagement, and we remain in touch. We visit all of our customers at least a couple times a month. So it's an active, conscious choice. So we are there, your partners. But you nailed it. Uh, Algo is there every single day. So as a result, as we make uh, that whole experience smarter, and for Algo to know your business better and better, and then serve you more and create more value, that is sort of our vision of competitive differentiation and how to, in a sustainable fashion, uh, continue to create value for our customers.
Well, and that's your true values, right? That's your
True.
core values. That's what
Yeah.
you live by on a daily basis, and I can definitely see that as you talk
Yeah.
about it. And this industry is very much relationship based, and everything nowadays is based on that customer experience, that
Yeah.
service that you create for them.
So
And
true.
yeah, and so I think that it's just really, really important to do. And I'm sure for your customers or even potential customers, people looking at Algo, to work with you will feel comfortable in knowing that that's the kind of culture and that's the kind of relationship that you're cultivating from the beginning.
Yeah.
So let's move away a little bit from Algo just for a minute. I just want to know, what is your half crazy intuitive prediction for the next 5 years in supply chain? I mean, you're in AI, you're in tech, you're immersed in it. What are we going to see in this industry?
Yeah, no, I think over the next 5 years, what we are going to see is a lot of industry uh, consolidation uh, as well. So that I think is bound to happen. If we, are talking about, warehouses, uh, you will see drones flying in warehouses, not just robots
In the warehouse.
in the warehouse.
Okay.
And now the question would be, what possible use if you are having a drone in a warehouse setting? Well, they can help create heat maps of activity. They can help figure out where the choke points are and what have you. So a warehouse is at some level, you can model it as a living, breathing organism. And then if you take the heat map of it, you will find out that there are parts of the warehouse that are highly active, and there are other parts where there is no activity, unproductive inventory sitting, bad decisions of the past piled upon each other, no life, no sign of life or whatnot. Now, if you are able to create those heat maps and whatnot, and you're just able to give that visibility across the supply chain to everybody in that enterprise, it is difficult to ignore that, okay, I have this warehouse, or many warehouses for that matter, in my network, and a significant chunk of it is unproductive, dead space. Why? Why are we not doing anything about that,
Why are we
that dead
paying?
inventory, right? So I think these technologies can help bring a lot of efficiency, uh, sustainability, uh, uh, and in that sense, that's good for the planet as well. But you will see that you will see a lot of emergence of natural language and bots in the supply chain space as well. Uh, you will also see uh, more personalized uh, experiences in stores, meaning with these technologies, you would be able to figure out that, okay, maybe I can have a given store totally focused on the community that lives around it, this store of the community concept, and not say, okay, all these 200 stores, they fit one profile or whatever, where you can actually, each store can have its own individual personality, fit to the shoppers who come there. Um,
And not only the shoppers in general, though, I also think that we're going to be seeing some sort of, customization as well.
lot of customization,
Yeah.
connected experiences. So no, and you really all these channels connected very nicely. Any entry point, any exit point, order something online, go pick it up from the store, store bringing the product to you, same day delivery, things like that, and just connected commerce. One thing that I would say though is uh, uh, an enabling technology for that is a certain type of data architecture. We call it a data universe. So without that, these technologies, they don't work. So I think we will see a lot of focus on the building of these data universes in which these AI agents can, roam around. So a way to think about that is, so we live in this physical world, simulating all this in a computer, and those simulations running, and those simulations talking, back and forth with the real world. So then real world and the simulated world somewhat in a harmony and influencing each other. So you need very different data architectures for that. So I think we will see that as well. But exciting time to be in this industry.
And so, on that note, and talking about the future and talking about the different things that you see in the industry, what's next for Algo? What are you guys working on? What can we get excited about? And what can we look forward to seeing?
Yeah, we are making several strategic bets. One of that is we want our bot Algo to be the best in these vertical domains that we are in. We want it to be able to do a lot more meaningful work. We want it to predict what work needs to be done, what questions need to be answered, and really for it to become a very dependable colleague of yours. So we are, out of many strategic bets that we are making, one key one is on just increasing the ability, skills, effectiveness of our bot, and just creating a lot of connected experiences with that, and allowing our user colleagues, our human colleagues, to become more creative in that process. So that is our one, big thing. So natural language is a big thing for us. The other sort of big thing, or a big bet that we are making, is how to combine computer vision and deep learning to create highly immersive augmented reality experiences. So moving forward, augmented reality is going to be a big thing. So those are our two sort of, big bets, and they are related to each other as well.
Well, so many things to look forward to. And I love that you talk about allowing the human part of Algo to be more creative. Because I think as we get into machine learning and AI, people do get a little bit nervous because they think that jobs are going to be replaced. But at the end of the day, we cannot replace the creativity and possibly the strategic component of that human workforce. So, Algo is moving and shaking their way to the top with no glass ceiling in sight. So, if you are interested in what they are doing and you would like some more information, please go to their website. I will also have more information at letstalksupplychain.com / season 2 episode 67. Amjad, tell me what your website is. Where can they go to find out more information?
It's very simple. Just go to algo.ai or algo.com. So ALGO. So yeah, either algo.ai or algo.com, and easy peasy.
Great. Well, I appreciate all the support from you and your team over at Algo. And thank you so much, Amjad, for joining me today on the show.
Sarah, thanks for having me.